When you sit down for a meditation, especially a guided meditation, you are finally giving your system a moment where it feels safe enough to soften. And what happens for a lot of people is this: the moment safety arrives, the body shuts down. It's relief. It's not failure or laziness, and it's definitely not a bad meditation. Your nervous system is taking the first real exhale it's had all day, sometimes all year, and sometimes since childhood. So if you fall asleep the second you stop moving, that tells me a lot more about how hard you've been holding everything together than it does about your meditation skills. Welcome to the Everything Embodiment Podcast, where I will help you find peace, understanding, and love all within your human body, enhancing your mind-body connection through the exploration of vast ideas, concepts, and modalities. Discussions all meant to propel you along your own unique spiritual journey. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Welcome back to the Everything Embodiment Podcast. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Today's episode is inspired by something I heard twice in the last couple days. I had two friends separately talk about meditation, and they both mentioned that they fell asleep, and it was almost like the fact that they fell asleep meant that they were not successfully meditating. And I want to talk about that because a lot of people silently wonder the same thing. There's this belief that meditation is something you're supposed to stay awake through, stay alert through, stay laser focused through, and if you fall asleep, you've somehow failed. But here's what I want to open for you today, and I want you to let this sink in. Falling asleep during meditation is often a sign that the healing is working, not that you're doing anything wrong. And I want to break this down from every angle: the physiology, the brainwave science, the energetic and spiritual layers, the trauma-informed perspective, and the role of intention, because intention changes everything. And by the end of this episode, I think you're going to see meditation differently. You're going to stop judging your body. You're going to trust your nervous system, and you're going to understand why your system might actually be doing exactly what you need. So let's dive in. So, to start really simply, most people today are exhausted, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We live in constant stimulation. We go from work to kids to responsibilities to scrolling to worrying. So, the body never really gets to turn off. When you sit for a meditation, especially a guided meditation, you're finally giving your system a moment where it feels safe enough to soften. And what happens for a lot of people is this: the moment safety arrives, the body shuts down. It's relief. It's not failure or laziness. It's definitely not a bad meditation. It's your nervous system taking the first real exhale it's had all day, sometimes all year, and sometimes since childhood. So if you fall asleep the second you stop moving, that tells me a lot more about how hard you've been holding everything together than it does about your meditation skills. Now let's talk about what's happening in your brain. When you're alert and awake, you're in beta brainwaves, thinking, planning, analyzing, scanning. Meditation shifts you down into alpha, which is calm focus, creativity, openness, and then into theta, which is dream state, intuition, subconscious processing, and the spiritual connection. Theta sits right at the border of sleep. Going from meditation into sleep is not a big leap, it's a tiny slide. So if your body is tired, or your nervous system is overwhelmed, or you're finally slowing down for the first time all day, you're going to cross that threshold. It's just literally biology. When you shift into the energetic layer, this is one of my favorite parts. Meditation softens the aura. It lowers the defenses of the mind. It invites the subconscious forward. It brings your energy body into alignment with your intention. And falling asleep during the process often means your subconscious is ready to heal without interference. Let's go deeper into the idea that your subconscious is ready to heal without interference, because this is I think, one of the most overlooked truths about meditation. Your conscious mind, the thinking mind, is amazing. It helps you function, plan, organize, make decisions. But when it comes to healing, especially deep emotional or energetic healing, the conscious mind can actually get in the way. Here's why. The conscious mind wants control. It wants to understand everything. It wants to make sense of everything. It wants to analyze the experience while it's happening. And healing doesn't always happen in that space. In fact, some healing cannot happen there. The conscious mind will interrupt it. It will second guess it. It will narrate it. It will try to fix or solve what actually needs to be released. So the moment your brain drops into sleep, or even that dreamlike pre-sleep state, the conscious mind moves aside. And suddenly, the subconscious has room to work. So, what does that mean? It means suppressed emotions can rise without being judged. Old patterns can unravel without resistance. Your nervous system can complete stress cycles without interruption. Your inner child can be comforted without the adult self trying to intellectualize it. Healing becomes more fluid, more honest, and more organic. Because healing is not an intellectual process, it's a physiological and energetic release. And the subconscious, the part of you that holds memories, beliefs, instincts, and intuition, finally has the space to do what it's been wanting to do. Clean up what the conscious mind has been protecting, avoiding, or bracing against. This is why so many people say, Amber, I fell asleep during your meditation, but I woke up feeling lighter, or I don't remember the meditation, but something shifted. Yes, because your subconscious was working without interference. Think of it this way. If your conscious mind is in a loud room, your subconscious healing is the whisper in the corner. When you fall asleep, the room goes quiet and the whisper becomes audible. That whisper is where the real transformation begins. This is why sleep during meditation is often the safest path, especially for people who grew up needing to stay alert, have a hypervigilant nervous system, overthink everything, intellectualize emotions, feel responsible for managing the room, have trauma stored in the body, or are used to holding everything together. As soon as they drift, the pressure lifts, the armor softens, the system can finally release. It's precision healing happening exactly where it needs to happen, in the layer of your psyche that actually stores the wound. Another reason you might fall asleep during meditation is because it allows you to temporarily bypass the ego. And I want to talk about this in a loving, grounded way. A lot of spiritual spaces treat the ego like it's your enemy, but the truth is your ego is not bad. Your ego is your identity. It's part of you that keeps you functional in the world. It helps you navigate relationships, makes decisions, stay safe, and understand who you are. The ego is not the villain, it just has limits. The ego likes certainty. It likes predictability. It likes to be in control and understand what's happening. And when we meditate, especially when we're moving into deeper layers of healing, the ego can unintentionally tense up the experience. Not because it's sabotaging you, but because it's trying to protect you from anything unfamiliar, anything emotional, anything that feels too big or too vulnerable. So when you drift into sleep, the thinking mind, the ego, finally steps aside. For a moment, the higher self can take the lead. Your intuition takes the lead. Your body takes the lead. Your subconscious takes the lead. The healing is no longer filtered through your identity or your narrative or your need to control the outcome. Bypassing the ego isn't any sort of rejection, it's relief. It's giving the ego a break from managing everything. It's letting your higher self say, I've got this part. It's letting your subconscious mind unwind without being analyzed or criticized. And it's not about silencing the ego permanently or treating it like a problem. It's about just letting the parts of you that don't operate through fear or survival guide the healing. Sleep creates that window. When the ego relaxes, the deeper layers of your consciousness can do the work they're meant to do, gently, intuitively, and without resistance. So falling asleep in meditation isn't you losing control, it's your soul stepping into its rightful place and saying, rest. Let me take it from here. Another big reason people fall asleep during meditation is because the body is finally releasing emotional material. And honestly, sleep is one of the most beautiful, intelligent ways the body knows how to do this. We tend to think healing only happens when we're awake, crying, journaling, having big breakthroughs, but that's not how the nervous system works. A huge amount of emotional processing actually happens when the conscious mind is offline. It happens in sleep. It happens in dream state. It happens when your body isn't bracing or analyzing or trying to make sense of anything. When you meditate, especially when you enter alpha and theta states, old emotions will start to rise, and not always big ones. Sometimes it's the subtle ones, unfinished cycles and unfelt stress, stored tension from years ago, tiny micro wounds from childhood, moments you never had time to feel. Your body doesn't forget these experiences, and it stores them in the muscles, the tissues, in the breath, in your posture, in your tone of voice, in your reactions. Your conscious mind often interrupts release. It says, we don't have time for this, or not now, don't cry, or hold it together, or we're fine, it's not a big deal, I don't want to think about that. But the moment you drift into sleep during meditation, the body finally has room to process what it couldn't process before. It finishes those stress cycles, it softens the contractions, it moves emotions through the lymphatic system. It reorganizes memories in the brain. It clears inflammation created by emotional suppression. It takes all the things you've been holding and lets them dissolve quietly. This is why people wake up from a meditation nap feeling lighter than when they started. Their system used the opportunity to do the deeper work. This is also why certain meditations, especially heart healing, inner child work, past trauma release, anything that involves letting go, can make you sleepy immediately. That sleepiness is not avoidance. It's your body saying, I can process this better in rest. Let me handle it. Sleep becomes a container where your emotional body can breathe, where you can release without needing to perform the release, where the healing happens in the exact layer where the emotion originally got stuck. So if you fall asleep during a meditation, that's designed to help you let go, clear, or heal. Trust that your body is doing exactly what it knows how to do. It's liberating you. One of the most comforting and honestly most magical aspects of meditation is that your energy body doesn't shut off just because your physical body does. Your physical body may fall asleep, but it's the subtle bodies, the emotional body, the mental body, the etheric body, the intuitive body. They stay open and highly active and receptive. And this is why healing does not require your conscious participation. Your conscious mind is only one part of you. Your energy field is larger intelligence. And healing often happens more effectively when your thinking mind isn't evolved. So if your body is the hardware, your energy field is the software, your soul is the programmer, and when you fall asleep during meditation, your physical body goes offline long enough for the system update to happen without glitches, without overthinking, without old programming interrupting the download. And when the body rests, your aura expands and becomes more permeable. Energy moves freely, stagnation loosens. Your chakras regulate themselves, especially the heart, sacral, and root, the ones most impacted by stress. Your intuitive channels open without resistance. You receive what you're ready for, not what you're bracing against. Your higher self steps forward. It orchestrates the healing in the precise vibration you need. Your cells repair at a faster rate because tension isn't blocking oxygenation and circulation. Emotional debris clear without emotional overwhelm. You don't have to relive anything for it to release. And so I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, but before we leave this topic, I want to name something from a trauma-informed lens, just to frame it clearly. If you grew up in environments where you had to stay alert, read the room, manage others' emotions, or keep yourself safe, relaxation might not be your default state. Your nervous system learned that stillness equals vulnerability. So when meditation suddenly creates this safety, true safety, your nervous system might do something it never had the chance to do before growing up. It rests. So moving on, I want to add something that I believe is absolutely foundational to meditation, and that's intention. Intention shapes energy. It creates the container. Intention tells your mind, your body, your spirit what you're available for. And setting the intention before meditation changes everything, especially if you tend to fall asleep. Here's an intention I use and teach. If I stay awake, guide me consciously. If I fall asleep, continue the healing in the way that's best for me. And if there's something I'm meant to notice or understand, wake me up the moment it comes through so I can acknowledge it or write it down, and then let me return to rest to integrate it fully. That single intention does three things. It removes pressure. You're no longer trying to force the meditation to look a certain way. It invites healing in all states, awake or asleep. You're partnering with your body instead of fighting it. It keeps you connected to the insight. If something important does arise, your subconscious will wake you. And this is how you collaborate with your own healing. It's a beautiful balance between surrender and agency. So, what you can do if you actually do want to stay awake because you want the conscious experience, here are some proven tools. Sit upright instead of laying down. Meditate earlier in the day. Keep a soft downward gaze. Use shorter practices until your brain adapts. Ground your energy first. Feel your feet. Feel your body. Add breath work before meditation to wake up the system gently. But then if you fall asleep, it's okay. You still received the intention. You still received the healing. Meditation is not measured by how awake you are. It is measured by how supported your body feels. So here's what I want you to remember. You can't fail at meditation. Your body is not betraying you. Your sleepiness is communication. Your nervous system knows the pace. Your spirit knows the timing. And falling asleep during meditation is often the exact doorway your system needs. Release the judgment, honor the intention, and trust your body. Before we close, I want to speak directly to the person listening right now who feels that pull in their chest, that quiet knowing that you were meant to help people, meant to guide, meant to heal, meant to use your intuition and your energy to bring relief, clarity, and transformation into the world. If that's you, then hear this. You are the hero of your journey. I'm simply the guide, and the embodiment, energy, and intuition training is the map that brings you home to yourself and into your calling. This isn't just an energy course. It is not surface level certification. It's full spectrum healing journey designed to help you remember who you are at the soul level and teach you how to use that remembrance to support others. Inside this training, you don't just learn energy healing, you learn your energy, your blueprint, your gifts, your intuition, your voice as a healer. You learn the nervous system and energy body together, not separately. You learn subconscious healing and using the release-receive method, intuitive development that feels natural and embodied, trauma-sensitive facilitation so you can hold safe, grounded spaces, how to guide healing experiences that support people whether they stay present, drift, or process quietly, how to support emotional release, integration, and regulation, how to channel energy in your own unique style, not someone else's. And because this program is rooted in self-discovery, you also get professional astrology reports to help you understand your soul blueprint, a human design exploration that reconnects you to your natural gifts, the clarity of knowing who you are, how you operate, and how your intuition speaks. This isn't about replacing Reiki. Reiki resonates beautifully for many healers, but what I teach simply expands beyond a single system. It gives you the freedom to heal in a way that feels intuitive, alive, and truly yours. This is not just a certification. This is a remembering and a rising, and I will say this plainly because it's true. This program is a steal at $222 for the beta round. It's honestly wild how much transformation is inside because my goal isn't to create another trained healer. It's to walk with you as you become the healer you were always meant to be. If you're listening to this and your whole body is leaning in, if you can feel the yes in your chest, if you've been waiting for a sign, a guide, a path, a permission slip, this is it. The link is in the show notes, and you'll know it's for you the moment you click. And if it is, I cannot wait to walk beside you in the embodiment training. And if you're not feeling called into the embodiment, energy, and intuition certification, that's totally okay. Follow what feels aligned for you. But if this episode did support you today, or if this podcast has ever given you clarity, comfort, or a little moment of healing, it would mean the world to me if you took a moment to rate or review the show. The ratings are what helps the algorithm share the podcast with more people who need it, and it genuinely makes a huge difference. I'd be so grateful. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you all next week.